just got back from joining my friend's wedding here in Nong Keo. Not here, is half an hour by boat upstream. Such a beautiful village up there. I'm so happy and feel honored to be able to join this special event. So first of all, I would like to congratulate to Mr. Tae and his beautiful bride Sukna Khan. Thank you for having me and thank you for allowing me to film all this special event from the beginning until the end. So Tae and I, we used to be friends. You know, we used to live in the same temple as Buddhist monk back then, many years ago. Though I left the temple before him, and then later on he left as well. And today he got married, so it was a very special moment of his life, and I was very happy to be able to see all this. So let's talk about Lao Wedding. Well, Lao Wedding is a little bit complicated because it has many steps. First of all, let's talk about the engagement. The engagement is not widely practiced in Lao culture, so many couples just skip that part and they just go straight to, you know, the main point, which is when the bride price and dowry negotiation happen. So after a while of dating, if the boy and the girls are ready to commit, you know, the girl would say to the boy, like, you know, I'm ready now. If you want to be part of my life, you want to be my husband, you better talk to your parents and have them come and talk to my parents, and, you know, then we can head up. So that's when the, you know, dowry negotiation happen. So basically the dowry is asked by the bride's parents. It's some kind of refund, you know, from the breast milk that the bride is being fed since she was born. So the mother fed her and raised her up, and now it's time that she's gonna get married and then will move out of the family to live with her husband's parents. So they would ask for compensation. The dowry can be cash and gold and anything that's valuable. In the past, when money and gold was not priority, it was more like cow or water buffalo or pig, but now it's involved with, you know, mainly cash and gold, like necklace and stuff like that. And for how much? Well, it all depends on the status of both families. The wealthier they are, the more they expect to pay or get paid. It's a little bit tricky to explain. Let's put it this way. So in the past, when people get married and have children, these children are the one who will then, you know, take care of you when you get old and gray. So by having your daughter, and later on when she's gonna get married, that means she's gonna move out of your house. So that means you're gonna lose labor, and she would go to live with her husband's parents and take care of them. So her parent needs some compensation. It's not like buying her up, something like that. She obviously has her home. If the marriage doesn't go well, she always come back. And some case, the groom does move into his bride's parents' house. It all depends on the arrangement between both parties. So basically like 85%, you know, the brides will move into the groom's parents' house after marriage. So that's why there's a tradition of dowry. So yeah, after the negotiation, parents or both the parents of the bride and the groom will have to consult with a junior Buddhist monk or ex-Buddhist monk who knows well about the custom and tradition, you know, which day is the best to have the ceremony, and that's when everything starts. So basically the ceremony always only happen at the bride's household, not elsewhere. So basically a night before the wedding at the bride's family, there will be some warming party, so only relatives and close friends are invited, you know, for this informal event. And then the next day is the big day. So during the big day, mostly in the morning, you know, the groom and the bride will put makeup on beautifully, and then the groom will parade from his house into his bride's homes. In this case, in my friend's case, because his home is in Luang Prabang, which is 200 kilometers away, he can't possibly parade from there to here. So what they did is they started from the wedding reception all the way to his bride's house. You know, during the parade, you know, his parents join in along with his relatives and siblings and, you know, other people as well. And there was some singing, you know, some yelling, you know, telling villagers and the bride's family that they're coming and get ready to open the door for, you know, to accept them in. So as you can see, the groom is holding flower and bag and sword, as well as candle. So let's talk about the sword and candle. So the sword it represents the protection and the candle is represent the prosperity. So in Lao culture, women are in the position to be protected by men. I'm not saying that men are dominant. It is still expect that men are the one, you know, who would provide for the families. That doesn't necessarily mean that women don't work. I mean, in the city, in the modern day, you know, women are very independent. I mean, they work as hard as men, so some of them don't like being, you know, provided or something. They just love being, you know, independent and earn their own money. So, but technically, culturally, men are expected to take care of the family. Anyway, so yeah, that's the meaning of the sword and the candle. So when the parade is approaching the bride's home, a groom's father would call to the mother of the bride saying that, you know, today is a good day, you know, the groom is coming to your house ready to be part of your family, please open the door, accept us. That's when, you know, she would open the door and let the groom inside to meet his bride, who is sitting inside, you know, in front of this beautiful tray decorated, you know, with flowers and white robes, you know, and, you know, surrounded by elderly people who are there to wish them, you know, for good luck and for prosperity. Yeah, and then followed by basti ceremony. So basti ceremony is, you know, when the groom and the bride got, you know, all these white robes, you know, tied on their wrist, oftentimes along with money, is some kind of good luck money, and then, you know, people wish them. And then after ceremony, all the guests are moved to the wedding reception where, you know, they will be sitting at the table, and then the bride and the groom's parents along with their relatives will be standing, you know, on both sides of the gate, you know, greeting guests, you know, who are coming in into the reception. And as you can see here, you know, people coming in and put the envelopes in this box. That's the invitation card. Oftentimes in the envelope is cash, is some kind of, you know, contribution to the bride and the grooms for their wedding expenses and whatever. And yeah, and that's when everyone, you know, go sit down at the dining table, and later on around noon, about 12:30, people will have lunch and party and lots of dancing, singing, and yeah, it's kind of fun. So the bride and the groom will have their first dance and then followed by their parents, and after that the guests can join in. So it's kind of fun, it's very interesting, and I feel honored to be able to join this special event. So thank you, Te and Sukna Khan, for having me and for allowing me to record all this beautiful ceremony of yours. So I wish you all the best, and, you know, have a beautiful future together. Thank you so much. This is Khmu village. So as you can see, the house is different from Lao house. As I've mentioned earlier in my previous video, that Khmu is one of the 49 ethnic groups in Laos, and as you can see, their house is different. That one, the concrete one, is typical Lao style, and it's just typical Khmu with bamboo, and then, you know, two-story house like this. Anyway.
เอาไปได้บ่
อย่าใส่กลับวะโอ้
กางกับ
เอาไปเอาซอยเราเลยโอ้บุมีไพ่ขัวนะแล้วบอกเขาหลอกขัวให้เป็นเจ้าอยู่
อันนี้อันเท่าไรหน่อยใส่หัวอันเท่าไรเอานี่ให้อายเดี๋ยวเอา4 อันเลยอันนี้มาเท่าไรเนี่ย มัน5,000เอามัดหนึงให้ได้
เล็กไส้อัวเราไปปิ้งไส้อัวดิบ
บ่เป็นหยังเพราะว่าเอากับโลกบางมันจะหนาว Visiting a small temple like this reminds me of my first home, my first temple when I first joined when I was 8.5 years. It's quite remote. It's like this, just only me as a very little monk and elderly monk. We live together, just two of us. I call him as my second father. It's very nice, you know, very quiet, has no electricity. Sadly though, I left and I never visited him again until 2011. I went back there and he's already gone. He passed away. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of him a lot.